It's your girl Kiara here. How are you guys? I'm doing well. Welcome back to my channel, Kiara's Hooks. Thank you for my mom for the name title. I'm here to show you guys how to make these fingerless gloves like so. And you guys can make it in any color that you want. You can make it longer here, you can make it higher here. I'm just giving you the basics tutorial on how to do it, a little basic 101. Obviously, like, I'm a 90s baby, so I feel like this kind of just brings back some 90s vibes. I don't know when this style came into effect, but it definitely makes me feel less in like 2021, 2022 trends and more like in the back in the day. I hope that you guys can follow along step by step. This is beginner friendly and it's also a little more challenging. However, it's good to challenge yourself when you're crocheting because that's the way that I learned, by trying new stitches, by trying out new ways to do things. If I always choose the easy route, I'm never going to really learn anything with crocheting, so this is definitely going to help if you just want to have a little bit more push, just a small teeny mini push. So yeah, let's get started, guys. I'm going to be using my 4.0 millimeter crochet hook. I'm also going to be using this yarn. Now this is acrylic yarn and I'm not going to be needing all of this yarn. However, this is way enough for me to make this. So if you're just questioning if this will be enough for one hand, it definitely will be. If you wanted to add length to this, then I would definitely just to be safe have another ball of yarn on deck. So we're gonna start off by making our loop. You're gonna cross the yarn over, then you're gonna pull through. And then you can pull the yarn that is attached to the yarn ball to make the loop smaller. And then you can put your crochet hook through just to make sure. I chain down how long I want it to be. So I believe that I chain down 17. So this from here is 17. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this stitch here, and then we'll change that stitch up there. I'm going to be doing 17 chains. So that means I'm going to wrap my yarn around my crochet hook and I'm going to make 17 chains. 1, 2, you're going to make sure that you're using the yarn that is attached to your yarn ball. 14, 15, 16, 17. This is what I'm going to do next. So see, this braided side is going to be facing me the whole time that I'm going to be doing this next row. So it's not going to be going into the first chain, we're going to be going into what looks like the second chain. You're going to go under the 2, there's 2 here. Okay, do you see those? There's 1 and there's 2. You're going to grab the yarn, you're going to pull it through. Okay, then you're going to have 2 loops on your rod, then you're going to pull through and pull through 2. Okay. So that's how we're going to be doing our first row. So we see that the braided side is facing us. You're going to go into the next stitch, the bottom of the loops right there. You're going to grab your yarn, bring it forward. You're going to wrap your yarn, and you're going to pull through 2. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing for the whole row. You don't want to jump this and then do the next step. You want to make sure that you're going to the full end of the row. So there's 1 more there, loop, bring it forward, wrap around, and pull through 2. So there we have our first row. Let's see how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 14, 15, 16. So that means that we haven't went through our full row because we chained 17, but I only had 16 done. So that means that there's 1 more that I have to go into. Okay, you're going to pull through, then you're going to wrap around, and you're going to pull through 2. And now we should have 17 of these made. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn our work around. So we're going to turn that around, and we're going to be facing from the inside. So this is the outside, and this is the inside. it looks different, as you can tell. Now you're only going to go through one of these on the top. So you're going to slide your crochet hook through, bring the yarn forward, and then you're going to wrap the yarn around your hook and you're going to pull through 2. So you're going to do that again. So you're only going through 1. Here's 2. This would be going through a regular stitch because we're going through 2, but this time we're only going through 1. We're grabbing our yarn, we're bringing it forward, wrapping it around, and we're pulling 2. From now on, all we are doing is going into here, into this loop that is farthest from us. This loop here is closest to us, but we're going to the one that is farthest from us. We're pulling the yarn through, we're wrapping it around our hook, and we're pulling through 1, or pulling through 2. And as we continue to do this, this is going to cause that effect that I showed you previously on my other fingerless glove. So what you're going to want to do is just continue the row, doing exactly that, going through one of the loops, grabbing the yarn, pulling through 2. And once we get to the end, I will show you guys the next step. It is, if not the exact same thing, however, there is just a little difference when you are facing the different way, and I just want to show you so that you guys can do the rest on your own, and we can meet back once we are ready to do the top of the fingerless glove. So now I'm going to make sure that I'm going all the way to the end of my row. I'm going to grab my yarn and bring it forward, wrap around, pull through 2, and then we just have to make sure that this point here is not something that we're skipping over. So you want to make sure if there's a loop there, you're going inside. I see a loop right there, grab it around and pull through 2. Now you can make sure that there's also 17 again if you've done 17 with me. 1, 2, 3. Once you flipped it over and you're facing the front again, you're going to go through the loop that is farthest from you, put your crochet hook through that loop. So that is what we're going to be doing, and that is the stitch that we're going to do all the way until it fits around our wrist. So for my wrist, a comfortable 7 inches would work, or even something smaller than that. And so what I did for this, if we want to measure it, mind you, there is stretch, so you always want to take that consideration when you're measuring. But this, I'm just going to wrap around. And yeah, exactly. It fits basically a 7. Go all the way to your 7 inches, all the way up there. Once I have completed this all the way up there, because this is what fits comfortably around my wrist size. Once I'm there, I will come back and I will show you guys how to close that, and then we can start working on the top of our fingerless gloves. So I'll see you guys back once I'm done my 7 inches and once you guys are done. So now I have completed the 7-inch rows for my fingerless gloves. So as you can see, that goes to about 7 inches there. Perfect. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to need to close this for the meantime. So I'm going to take the way that is my outside. So this is my outside. You can tell kind of which way is the outside and the inside. One will look a little bit more neater and more pointy from my eye. The other way will look a little less. So I'm just going to put the more neat side on the outside. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to close it like this for now. I'm going to take my crochet hook and I'm going to push it through the top there. So I'm going under through the hole that is right there. I'm going to go through there. I'm going to grab my yarn and I'm going to pull through 1. Okay? Now, this is just, we can close this up after, but for now, we're just going to do that and start doing our rows. And now that we are here, we're going to head clockwise. Okay, so that's counterclockwise, we're going to head clockwise. So we're going to turn our work so that we are facing the outside of our fingerless gloves. we're just going to move this end over here and we're going to start doing our stitch. But now it's very hard to start stitching when there's no real loops to go into. So we're going to create those loops by doing exactly this. So you're going to just kind of wiggle inside there, grab your yarn, wrap around, and you're going to pull through 2. And now when we go back, we'll have chains that will help us. So we're just going to kind of estimate where we're going. We're going to poke in, we're going to grab that yarn back, we're going to wrap it around our hook, and we're going to pull through 2. So that's what we're doing all the way around until we have completed around the whole glove. And this is going to help us for the next row that is coming. It's kind of hard to find our way in, but once you wiggle it a bit, and we don't want to jump from here all the way here. Try to go into the next possible space so that we can make everything look more even and natural. So now we are at where we began, basically, but we still have to make sure that we can get to this side effortlessly. So we're going to just go into the stitch and create that, and then we're just going to go here and create that. And now when you guys look on the top, you can see that it looks like there's these chains all around the top that we literally just created. So this is going to make it so much easier for us to do the next row and complete this fingerless glove. And I also want to state that, see this slit that we are going to close after? This is going to be the inside of the glove. So keep that in mind. The inside of the glove is not facing the outside. So now that we have found love, what are we gonna... Okay, you know that song. Okay. Now that we have that done, we're going to wrap the yarn around our hook, and we're going to go into that next like chainish thing that we made. And it's going to make so much easier for us. We're going to pull that yarn through, wrap it around, pull 2, wrap it around, pull 2. Now we're going to do this stitch, or whatever stitch you chose, all the way around until we come back to there. I'm just going to go until I get to the very end of the row. Okay, right here. And now what we're going to be doing is we're going to continue to go around one more, but we need to now create the opening for our thumb. So as you can see on my previous one, we did one row around, okay, and then now we made the gap for our thumb, and I left about 4 stitches open for my thumb. So, and I did that about 1, 2, 3, 4 away from the middle. So if we're going here, I'm just going to pull that so it doesn't come out. So here is where we're going to stitch it close, and from 4 from here, 1, 2, 3, 4 is where I started leaving the opening for my thumb. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I left 1, 2, 3, 4 open. So that is what I'm gonna go with for this. If you have markers which are going to help you know when to stop and start, you can definitely use that. I don't have those things yet, so I'm just going to use some extra yarn so that I know when to stop. So I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to tie it ever so lightly because it's not staying there for a long time. And then I'm going to go another 1, 2, 3, 4, and here is where I'm going to start the thumb opening. Okay, so for you, you just want to make sure how many stitches is it gonna be comfortable for your thumb. So now you can see me trying it on, and 4 is just perfect. It works really well. We see that the the opening is going to be closed and that's flushed on my wrist, and the 4 is going to be perfect for my thumb. So just fit your hand through and see how wide it will need for your thumb to be comfortable in that area. So now that I have those in place, I'm just going to continue going around, and once I hit my first mark, which is going to be this one, we're going to stop, and then we're going to go back around. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So now we're just going to continue going around, and as you see, I'm 1 from approaching my first marker. So I'm going to wrap my yarn around, keep doing my last stitch, keep doing my stitch, and then now we have hit the first marker. So what that means is we can't go any farther, because if we do, we're going to never create the area for our thumb. So now that we have made it, we're going to turn our work around and just continue going the same direction that we just came until we hit this marker right here. And now that I'm done and we've hit this marker, you can see this is what is going on here. So I just arrived at the other marker there, so I cannot go any further. And now we do not need this marker, and we do not need this marker anymore. And so now when you look here, I'm just going to pull that so it doesn't come out, you can see that we have now created that opening for our thumb, and it is seamless and it is effortlessly done. So now we have just completed 1 row. We're going to do 1 more row, and which that means we're going to head back this way and stop there, and once we arrive there, I'm going to show you guys the next step. So now that I have done the second row, which was I went around and I've come here, I need to make sure that I'm going to the end of my row. So you see that slant, we want to make sure that we went through all the stitches. So I can see here that there's 2 right there. I'm going to go under those, pull my yarn. Oh, it's kind of tricky to see, but they're there. Bring my yarn over, wrap around. There we go. So now I know that I went my full row. So that's perfect. So now we have a taller opening for a thumb. And for my thumb, this is a perfect size. So I can close this up. I don't need to go another 3rd row. So how I'm going to close that up is however many stitches you left open here is however many chains you're going to do here to close up. So mine was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close that up by doing 5 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to do them fairly loose because you're going to need to go into them after, and you're going to go across. You're going to put your crochet hook through to the other side, and you're going to wrap the yarn around your hook, and you're going to pull through. Okay? Now that you're on this side, and now that we are here with that there for our thumb, we're going to continue going around, but this time going on here and going around and around just for a few more rows until we have it closed. So just for 3 more rows. So what you're going to do from this point, there's only 1 loop on your crochet hook. You're going to wrap the yarn around your hook, and you're going to pull through 1, and now you're ready to continue going through those stitches and completely going around and around 3 times, and then that will be done for your finger. So now I am almost at the edge of where we just did those chains to close off for our thumb area. I'm going to show you guys how to go along those chains, because now we are almost at the end of this row. So what you're going to need to do is make sure that the chains, so you just got to make sure that the braid side is facing you, not the bumpy side, okay? And you're going to wrap your yarn around your crochet hook, and you're going to go into the first chain. And you're going to need to make sure that you're going under the 2 loops. So there should be 2 loops on top. You're going to wrap your yarn around your crochet hook. You're going to pull that through. Going to wrap it around. You're going to pull through and do your regular stitch. Okay, so you're going to wrap around. You're going to make sure that the braid side is facing you. You're going to go at the bottom of the chain, pull your yarn through, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through. Okay, wrap your yarn around your crochet hook, go in the bottom of that chain, so there's only one loop at the bottom. I'm going to pull that through, wrap around, and there we go. Okay, so you're going to wrap your crochet hook around. You're going to make sure that the braid side, not the bumpy side, the braid side is facing you. You're going to go at the bottom of the chain. There's 1 loop, 2 loop, and the 3rd, just like we did when we first started. And then you're going to finish off as well. There's also the same thing there. Okay. And now we've made it across, and this is going to be how we just complete finishing off the row. You're just going to kind of take your hook, you're going to go inside, you're going to pull that yarn through, you're going to pull that through, and that's going to close that gap. And then you're going to wrap the yarn around your hook, pull through 1, and you're just going to continue going upwards to close off and to cover more of your fingers. So just continue to go around for 2 more rows. Okay, and once that is completed, then you will be done the top portion of this, and then all I will show you guys after is how to close this slit that we had opened. So we have just completed the hole for our thumb, and all we are doing next is we are just adding 2 more rows up to have more space for our fingers to be covered. And once we're done that, I will show you guys how to close off this, and then we are complete and your fingerless gloves are good to wear. Okay, so I'll see you guys back after you finish the 2 rows going up. Catch you then. So now I have finished my rows, and now I am completely done the top portion of my fingerless gloves. So now what you're going to do, you're going to have 1 loop that is on our crochet hook, and all you're going to do is you're going to go into the next stitch there, go through there, grab the yarn, pull it through, wrap around, and pull. And this is just so we're closing this off, because now we're done. We're just going to do 3 of those. And now we are completely done. You're going to pull through, you're going to pull the yarn through, you're going to grab your scissors, you're going to cut the yarn, you're going to pull that loop through. Here we go. I'm just going to go like this and pull through. So now my knot is made. Now I'm just going to cut this off, and there we have it. We're going to take these flaps and just go like this so that we know that they're ready to go to be closed up. Space. So we have this much left at the bottom of our yarn. Okay? And what we're going to do is this step on how I close this gap. And we have that string that we just gathered. We're going to put that under the crochet hook. And you're going to go into the opposite side in the same position. So right there, okay? I'm going to grab the yarn that we just gathered. I'm going to wrap it around my crochet hook. Okay, and I'm going to pull through everything till I'm on the other side again. Okay, so see, I've made it on this side. So I'm going to show you again. I'm going to go into the next stitch area, just like so. I'm going to go across into the same next stitch area right across. As you can see, grab my yarn and I'm pulling it through there and pulling it through there. Okay, so now I have 1 loop again. So now we're doing that again. We're going to go into the next stitch, go into the next stitch, grab our yarn, bring it through, and bring it through that loop. And if you lined it up properly before, it'll be easy just to literally go like through it all. if you lined it up. Okay, so we're here, but we need to go to the very bottom of both sides, grab it, pull it through, wrap around, and pull through. Okay, so now that is us closed, I'm going to wrap around, and I'm going to pull through. I'm going to pull some of that yarn, and then I'm going to cut it off, just like so, and then I'm going to pull through, and that's going to lock that closed, and then you can just like feed it through here, bring it there, just so that we can tie a solid knot. Okay, and then tie our knot right there, and boom, and then we cut this off. Oops. And then these points right here, you can just tie them like so, and then do your knot like so, and pull. Make sure it's very tight, and then just cut those off. So then, as you can see, when we flip it inside out to the right way, our glove is completely done, and isn't she cute? She's absolutely beautiful. And so here we are. Super cute, right? And that's how we're gonna do the fingerless gloves. I hope that you guys really enjoyed this tutorial. They're super cool, super sick, and they're gonna be very warm for the little fall weather. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that it was fairly easy, but also, like I said, a little challenging. And I will be back with you guys for another tutorial. Bye!